Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu Tokyo Dark Part 4. Mal schauen. Haben wir das? Gut. Ein bisschen weiter rauf vielleicht. Okay. Kamera ein bisschen. Okay. Bis wir es haben. Es waren doch gerade 3 Leute da. Es ist wieder auf 1 und keiner sagt was im Chat. Wollt ihr alle nicht mit mir reden? Ja. Das Spiel braucht immer ein bisschen, bevor es richtig angezeigt wird. Das letzte Mal, geht das noch mit Klicken? Kann man nur mit Maus steuern. Das letzte Mal waren wir kurz davor, zum Collector zu gehen. Ja, die Frage ist jetzt, wer hat recht? Die Leute haben uns ja alle erzählt, der Collector ist dies und jenes und hat diese Fähigkeiten und jene Fähigkeiten und macht all und das und sieht alles und weiß alles. Und ich glaube, einige Personen waren davon überzeugt, dass es sich um eine Frau handelt und andere Personen waren davon überzeugt, dass es sich um einen Mann handelt. Und ich glaube eher, dass es ein Mann ist, aber mal schauen. Wir werden es ja jetzt gleich sehen. Wenn jemand in den Chat schreiben will, wenn jemand die Zeit hat, dann könntet ihr doch mal einen Tipp abgeben. Was glaubt ihr? Ist der Collector ein Mann oder eine Frau? Look. That's it. Free paper cranes. The button on the elevator are lit up. So. Ja, der Aufzug funktioniert jetzt. Und... Ja. Hier noch ein paar Sekunden. Gut. Jetzt rein. This doesn't seem right. Doesn't match the description I got at all. What was that? Who's there? Reina? Is that you? Who's there? Look around you. Interesting, isn't it? It's said the cranes can grant a wish. What is it you wish for? I've never been one to believe in wishes. Are you him, the collector? Ich kann es gar nicht sagen. Ist das ein Mann oder eine Frau? Collector? Crow? One of many names given to me over the years. But we have no time to waste on such boring, trivial things as introductions. Don't you want to know who I am? Oh, I know who you are, Detective Ito. Or should I say, investigator, so hard to keep straight. I suppose it's irrelevant what you call yourself now, as you have arrived exactly where you need to be. Something's different. Yes. Yes. What is it, I wonder? That's it. You are like me, after fashion. You see things differently from those who around you. The world is not so solid and unchanging as it is for them. Things bend, they break. Am I wrong? No, nothing's been the same since Kamakura. Yes, yes, of course. The girl you murdered, Reina. Was that your fault? Okay. Gave me no choice. Of course it wasn't. I never meant to. Something made me. Was sagen wir? Something made me. Then you are a puppet, dancing at the end of your strings to a tune you cannot hear. No, that's not what I said. I'm no one's puppet. Are you sure, detective? Do you really feel like everything you have done is under your control? When faced with the impossible, you are so certain that every choice you make is your own? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they are made for me. Which is easier, I wonder? The knowledge that the cause of all your suffering and your joy is of your own doing or someone else's? I don't know. I don't have time for this. Of course, of course. Our conversation has tilted towards the philosophical, but you are not here for philosophy. You want something more tangible. I want information, facts. No, it is my business to know what people desire, and that is not what you seek. What is it you want, truly? Tanaka. I want to know what really happened to him. No, it's not only that. I want to know what's happening to me too. Nothing makes sense anymore. I'm tired of chasing after clues that lead to dead ends. Perhaps I can be of some help to you. But first, please indulge me. I have a few questions. I'm curious, so curious. You are such a unique visitor after all. Yes, nothing like the others. Fine. What do you want to know? Oh, on the night of your partner's disappearance, you intimidated a hostess, threatening to shut down the establishment. Your reasoning. It was efficient to stick it to her. I didn't want to demean myself. Ich gehe damit. It was that, or do something beneath me. So you think your self-image is worth more than your partner's life? No, it's not like that. What is this? Some sort of psyche test? I came here for answers. Enough with the games. It's no game, detective. I can give you what you seek. This is my price. That's it? If you wanted information to use against me, seems you have already got enough. Blackmail. How pedestrian. Simplistic. No, no. I've no interest in that. Then what do you want? Everything I collect brings me closer to an understanding, much like you. Only the puzzle I assemble is considerably larger, and the piece you provide is well worth the trouble. Shall we continue? Do I have a choice? You have already made it. You've shown such little patience, detective. Surprising considering the effort you took to get here. The girl, Raina, she's the one you have been chasing, yes? Let's talk about her. Why didn't you shoot her again in the sewer? She was holding your dear Tanaka at knife point. Why didn't you pull the trigger? To keep her talking, she didn't deserve it. I didn't want to hurt anyone. I should have. To keep her talking. The situation was hopeless. The best I could do was keep her talking. Learn as much as I could. Interesting. Most interesting. Though she's gone, the sleepless nights continue, don't they? You have taken your pills twice. Is that enough to make a difference? Do they help? Does it not make you question the utility of it all? Most interesting. Perhaps you have told me enough. Yes, yes. This is most useful. I accept this trade. In return, you want... What was it? Ah, yes. That's right. A path. A way forward. I suppose it's your turn to ask the questions now. Where is Tanaka? Is he alive? In the dark. Whether he lives, that is more difficult. The dark? That's not the first time I've heard that. What is it? Where can I find it? A better question is, where can it not be found? Can you not feel it around you, following you at every turn? It pays great mind to those within its walls. You know of whom I speak. The common thread that binds all the misery in your heart. Reina, and if that's where she is, Tanaka must be there too. The girl's thread is a complicated one. Yes, very tangled. It begins in Kabukicho, and a talent agency called Omega. Kabukicho. I know it well enough, as I imagine any officer of the law would. The dark is a sacred place. It lives and breathes, changes shape and goes where it pleases. And it is the girl whose suffering determines its shape. Without understanding its root, you will never find your way, or it could tear you apart, like it almost has already. The mask. I don't know why, but I get the hunch that you'll know what this is. What is it? Reina was obsessed with it. It must be important, but I can't figure it out. Ah, I see. A most interesting relic. It makes people do the most fascinating things. Why did Reina want it so badly? It is a tool. Instead of living in fear of it, why not use it? It may be the key that will help you find your precious Tanaka. Though as powerful as it is, one cannot expect to use it knowing nothing about it. You said it yourself. It all started in Kamakura. The Kavanas have quite a history with that mask. The Kavanas, the shrine maiden girl. Her grandmother was the one who gave it to me. The very same. It gives me the creeps. Maybe I should have gotten rid of it. Don't do that. You will never find your way without it. Okay, es ist noch eine Frage übrig. What are you? A dressmaker, a cat breeder, a blackmailer. Seems that no one in this town can agree on anything about you except your name. There is no way anyone could know what you do. It's impossible. So what are you? Take a look around you. Is it not familiar? Can you not smell it? The stench of corruption? I have been here for so long. Longer than you can imagine. Feeling the desires, the loves, the hatred of mankind flow through this place. For you, detective, I am exactly who you need me to be. Now, shall we return our attention to the matter at hand, or trade? After all, was not for the knowledge of how I fit into your story. It was for a way to clear the... How did you put it? Ah, yes. To clear the dead ends you run up against. Let us reconsider your problem. The mask and the dark are inexorably linked. Pursuing one without the other is futile. Now you are an enemy of the dark. It will reject you without understanding it, and you will be lost without the necessary tool. How will I know when a path has been opened? Ask your puppet master. My end of the bargain has been upheld. You seem awfully eager to help me. What's the catch? Something tells me I'm going to regret talking to you. Paranoia, an unnecessary feeling. As I said, people fascinate me, especially ones as unique as yourself. You are a detective. I have only given you the tool you need to finish the job. From there, now that is the interesting part. I look forward to seeing your progress. Consider your debt to me partially repaid. The rest I shall collect at another time. Tell me, my little puppet, if you can see your strings, does your dance not continue? Until we meet again. Okay. Wir sind jetzt auch nicht schlauer. Oder ist jetzt ein Mann oder eine Frau? Okay, ja, ich weiß jetzt auch nicht, was wir das jetzt daraufhin machen sollen. Wir wissen, dass die Agentur, die wir suchen, Omega heißt. Das ist jetzt alles, was wir erfahren haben. Gibt's die hier irgendwo? Ich schau gerade. Steht hier irgendwo Omega? Kann nichts finden. Schauen wir mal, ob wir... The air in the collector's basement was stagnant and heavy. If I had stayed any longer, I felt like it may have suffocated me. So, hier. Wahrscheinlich hin, ja? For the time I was there, Akihabara faded away into a distant memory. I returned to the surface, but my hand up to shield my eyes from the sunlight and listened to the people on the street. Their conversation seemed so pointless, part of a world I no longer belonged to. The busy sound of the streets swept the cobwebs from my mind, forcing me to remember everything I told the collector and everything he impossibly knew. I told him so much, but did I have a choice? Maybe he was right and I was a puppet after all. At that moment it didn't matter. The dark and the mask both belonged to a world I was now a part of. Normal method of investigation would lead me to them. Countless paths were narrowed to two, and I had no choice but to march forward toward the leads I'd been given. As I left Akihabara behind, one thing bothered me. How did the collector know so much about me? Was I really so easy to read? I didn't have time to dwell on it. Katsuki and Reina were in the dark. That much had been all but confirmed, but I now had a means, however impossible, to find them. Two paths, the mask and the dark, both were necessary, and I had to make a choice of which to follow first. Chase after the talent agency in Tokyo Red Light District, or back to Kamakura to visit Mei, the girl I nearly got killed. Neither seemed very appealing. My logical side didn't understand how either would help, but as everything around me cracked and crumbled away, logic didn't matter anymore. I had to choose, or maybe something would choose for me. Ja, ich werde für dich aussuchen. Was haben wir da? Kamakura, okay. Apartment, Akihabara, Police. Da wollen wir hin. The collector mentioned a talent agency by the name of Omega here in Kabukicho. Unless there's a big sign advertising it, which I highly doubt, I will need to ask around to find it. Warum gibt's da kein großes Schild? Das wäre doch mal viel einfacher. Was ist hier eine Baustelle? It looks like they have been digging up the sidewalk, but since they are blocking my view, I can't quite see what they are doing. Okay. Hey lady, you need something? There's nothing to see here, so why don't you move along? Why should I? You said yourself there's nothing to see after all. Bit of advice for you. if you are trying to keep someone from staying out of your business, I would lead with nothing to see here. See, she thinks too. Every time you say nothing to see here, people stop and stare at us instead of actually moving along. Nothing to see here really does kind of make me wanna look more, you know? It's kind of sinister, nothing to see here. That's what cops say when there's definitely, without a doubt, something worth to see. seeing. Thanks a lot for the advice, boys. Last I checked, I was you who worked for me, not the other way around. Alright. No need to be so damn touchy. All we are saying is that unless you want every passenger in Kabukicho stopping to stare at us, you could try sipping it. Sip it? This is how you talk to all your employers. You are aware of who I work for, right? Digging a hole is the least of your worries, so do as I say. Shh, these jobs are the worst. What exactly are you guys doing? All of a sudden I can't help but wonder what some suit is doing standing by a construction site. Hey, I have to agree with the little lady on that one. Far as I can tell, we are putting up a strip of concrete for no damn reason at all. No reason far from it. It is scheduled maintenance request by the building's owner. There were complaints of people falling or getting hurt because of the uneven pavement, so my employer generously offered her own money to fix it. Maintenance? Huh. Seemed perfectly fine to me until you started hacking into it, and you seem awfully impatient for us to fill it back in. Maybe it's got something to do with the little thing you had wrapped in cloth before. Shut up! Or I'll ask you to dig 2 more holes after this one. 2 more? Oh, I get it. I think that was meant to be some sort of threat. Yes, exactly. I mean, what you say, it wasn't exactly threatening. Honestly, I've heard better. Is he trying to imply that he's going to make us cover ourselves in concrete? Kind of boring threat. Fine, bad joke, but maybe you two should remember you are being paid very generously to be here, so shut it. And you, miss, would you please kindly move along? As you can see, I'm busy enough with these two without any additional distractions. Okay. Also irgendwas zu verbergen. These guys aren't going to give me any trouble. Warum sollte die Polizei dir irgendwelche Troubles machen? Du bist doch keine Kriminelle. Außer, dass du eine bist. Hey, hold up. Don't I know you? Oh, who, me? Yeah, you. Unless you are hiding someone behind your back. Aren't you the detective whose face was all over town a few weeks back? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. How didn't I recognize you before? Hey guys. Didn't someone from HQ come by and ask us about her earlier? Maybe we should call it in. Hold on, DiCirio. You really think that's a good idea? Huh? What are you talking about? I'm not risking my job over some nobody detective. Yeah, well, call it in to HQ and you might be risking more than your job if you know what I mean. Ria's right. Why should we stick our necks out when she hasn't even done anything wrong? Being on leave doesn't mean she can't walk around, does it? I'm fine, Rio. I doubt I need to remind you boys what happens when you ruffle the wrong feathers at HQ. You guys can't be serious. Look, I'm not saying we arrest her, only you are going to piss off the wrong people, Dinchiro. I don't know how much more obvious I need to be for you to get it. No one, not even the detective here, is worth being down her wrath. Especially right now, things aren't exactly on stable ground around here since the Mifune family shake up. Don't need to repeat. Officer Ono. Begging for promotion one day and then some anonymous tip comes into HQ that Ono's been selling a little dope on the side. Even got a gun to tie him to a crime scene. Yeah, a gun that mysteriously got missing from evidence. You think that's true? Does it really matter if it is or not? The point is he asked too many questions around here and now he's in jail. Some police we are. Held hostage by some woman. Screw it, maybe you guys are right. Suppose if that guy from HQ asks again, we can say we didn't see any detective tonight. That's right, we didn't see you, and you definitely didn't talk to us. Got it? Yeah, I got it. Being on the street around here isn't exactly an easy position to be in, huh? You mean at the bottom? Yeah, doesn't give us a whole lot of options. Feels like I'm always stuck between HQ and all the other shit going around here. I'm not sure which is worse, honestly. You read the papers, don't you, detective? You hear about the Mifune family, right? Yeah, I'm sure she has. And that's all you need to say on the subject. You never know who's working for who around here, so put a lid on it. Listen, detective, whatever you think we are, or what you think goes on around here, it isn't so simple as good cops and bad cops. Remember that. Kabukicho might not be perfect, but we do our best to keep the peace, right? Right. Like Ria said, we are trying our best, so don't cause any trouble for us, and we will return the favor by not letting HQ know about this. There's plenty scarier than HQ out here. Shh. That's for sure. Why don't you move along, detective? I think I will just do that. Good luck, officers. Okay. Es gibt da ja eh nur diesen einen Club. Seems this club is pretty popular and it already has a lot of customers. So maybe talking to some of the regulars would give me good idea of where to start looking for Omega. Okay, gehen wir in den Club. Das sieht ganz interessant aus. Hier ist niemand, den wir ansprechen können. Ah, warte. Mit dem können wir reden. Mit dem können wir reden. Den sprechen wir denn zuerst. Sprechen wir mit die Person hier. Diese Silhouette. Das ist eine Frau, jetzt ist es ein Mann. Can I ask you something? Whoa. I wasn't doing anything. You're a cop, right? Nope, you have got me all wrong. I'm looking for a talent agency by the name of Omega. Why do you think I was a cop? Pooh. Only cops ask that many questions right off the bat. Well, that and your costume had me fooled. Oh, you oughta be careful walking around like that. Oh, I got it. You're some kind of performer, right? What are you doing looking for Omega? Omega's a wash. You won't get any work from them. Very not, sweetheart. It's just so happens I work for one of the best agencies in the town. We handle all types, models, performers, actors, you name it. Even a mature woman even a mature woman such as yourself will have no problem finding work through us. What is it? That is if you are fine with staying in costume. My lucky day. That's the spirit. Have a drink with me, babe. I'll get you signed up. I'm sure I can find work for you in no time. Well, like I said, I'm looking for Omega. A friend of mine recommended them, so it'd be rude to not talk to them at least, right? Shh. If you ask me, your friend's got no taste. You shouldn't waste your time with those losers. No one's even seen their guys around for months. Word on the streets, that they ran up a bit of step with the wrong people, if you know what I mean. Anyway, you didn't hear that from me. You know where I am if you want a real chance, babe. Okay. Hier mal ganz nach hinten. Reden mit dem hier. Hey, do you know this area? What? I had a question about... What? Speak up. I can't hear you. The speaker's right there. You're gonna have to talk louder. I'm looking for an agency. You are looking for a vacancy. What? In what? No, and you what? I'm looking for information about Omega Talent Agency. Do you know anything? Whoa. You really shouldn't shout things like that around here. Miss, consider in the invitation and Tamaya. Besides, it's much nicer when you than this stump. Yeah, in fact, we'd be happy to escort you. Who are you? Who do you think we are? Just businessmen doing our business. Good answer. Follow us. Ich glaube nicht, dass das ein Businessman sind. Welcome, come in. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kasumi Mifune. I appreciate you coming by to talk. You fucks didn't give me much of an option. The hell you think you are? Calling me a fuck? We are businessmen. You got that? Oh, I've got it alright. But don't think that dressing in a suit makes you any less of a fuck. Say another word, you cop bitch. Enough. You say another word and I will make you wish you hadn't. Now get out, both of you. Yes, boss. My apologies. The quality of help you can find these days isn't quite up to the standard that it was in my father's time. Wild dogs can be difficult to train, but they will come around. Even if I have to beat it into them. Sit down, relax. Can I get you a drink? Whiskey on the rocks. Someone get her a glass, and one for me as well. Why don't we skip the small talk and you tell me why I'm here? I'm getting to that. seem you're a woman who doesn't like to waste time. Good. As luck would have it, neither am I. Let's get right to it. A short while ago, a couple of men downstairs ran up to tell me a cop had walked past my bar and into one of my nightclubs. Then I hear you have been sniffing around, asking about one of my investments. Investments? You mean Omega? Smart girl. Tell me, Ayami Ito, why is it that a cop is going around asking pointed questions like that? More curious still. Not just any cop, but a publicly shamed cop on leave. A shamed cop who's had a history of, how did they word it? Ah, yes, a history of psychotic episodes. How do you know all that? We all have friends, Detective Ito. And when detectives are wandering around my part of the city, my friends tell me everything I want to know. Honestly, you don't seem all that crazy to me. As to why you're after Omega, let's say you bequeath my interest. Sorry, look at us. You said no small talk, and here we are off the bushes somewhere. Let's get back to the track, shall we? As you are not acting in any official capacity, it's safe to say that no one knows you are here, correct? No, I suppose they don't. In your position, I might have tried to lie, but I appreciate the honesty. It was a rhetorical question anyway. I know for a fact there's no one coming for you. Funny. Why don't strike me as the stupid type? You don't strike me as the stupid type, and yet you have willingly entered a den of vipers. If you valued your neck staying on your shoulders, surely you wouldn't do something so reckless. You can skip the threats. If you wanted to do something to me, you have done it. You would have done it already. Plus, you are smart enough to know not to hurt a cop, even one in my position. Ha 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 ha. Good. I like you. Given your prickly demeanor, I doubt you are working with one of my competitors, and you are definitely not here for your police buddies. Okay, okay, I give up. I have to know. What exactly is it you want to know about Omega? I'm looking for this girl. Her name is Reina. I was told she was involved with the agency somehow. I want to know what happened to her. How very noble of you. Figure that you might be a bit difficult, as I'm afraid Omega is an extremely recent acquisition. To get back further, you will have to talk to its persistent and former owner, a man named Ichichi Higashi. As it happens, that makes two of us who like to have a word with him. Okay, er versteckt sich irgendwo, es ist immer das Gleiche. Like bees in a good part, us two. Unfortunately, when he handed over the business, he became a bit, how should I put it, forgetful about his understanding debts to us. Outstanding debts. And the poor thing is so scared of me that he's ignoring all of my calls, probably thinking I'd do something awful to him if I found him. I can't imagine how he get that idea, can you? Maybe he'd prefer talking to a police officer instead of talking to me. I'm not some green recruit. I know how this works by now. What's the catch? You'd never tell me where he was and sent me on my way for nothing. Of course, I wouldn't. You will have to prove that you can be trusted first. There's someone else I need you to talk with. A bit of a softer target than Higashi. Pretty good deal, right? Everything you are looking for in exchange for one little job. Oh, don't make this more difficult than it has to be. You will agree eventually, so why fight it? I know a lot about you. Top of your class and one of the best detectives on the force. You wouldn't let something as pesky as morals get in your way for a good information, would you? I have heard about you too, Kasumi Mifune. Or more accurately, I heard a lot about your father. Huh. As you should. My father was a good man. It's not surprising. You know more about him than me. that will change soon enough. I won't be a footnote in his story much longer. My father always undervalued the power of information, but I really get to know the people I associate with. You, for instance. Everything you have done paints the picture of someone who's very determined and very desperate to find this girl of yours. Don't let other people tell you otherwise, detective. I think those traits are a wonderful combination. However, it also means you don't have a whole lot of bargaining power right now. If you don't want to work with me, that's fine. You can go home and quietly overdose on whatever medication they have got you taking instead. Furthermore, I could just refuse your request altogether, but that'd be so boring. We both need something, so let's help each other instead. Do the job I ask, and I will tell you what I know about little Higashi. As I was saying, like him, there's another business owner in Akihabara who is unfortunately behind on her payments as well. Such a shame too. I really wanted a straightforward relationship with this one. See, I help out with a few things, and in exchange she kicks back a little of her business. Sometimes we send over new contracts to renegotiate the terms for our mutual beneficial relationship. Sadly, she's negligent to sign the newest one. I'm a cop, not some Yakuza debt collector. Do it yourself. Ha ha ha. Suspended cop. You can't parade your badge around as proof that you are some white knight anymore. Due to the recent transition of power, I can't do it myself just this minute. The dogs at Tokyo Police Headquarters start painting whatever me or any of my men are seen outside of Kabukicho. I'm not asking you to club someone's head in. I'm only asking you to give them a friendly reminder to keep up to date on the paperwork. Easy, right? There, take it. Do this for me, and I will feel a lot more comfortable giving out information about Omega. Also, I will remind you with your impending review It would be seemly if it got out that you were meeting with Yakuza, wouldn't it? Blackmail, huh? That's such an ugly word. And here I thought we were becoming friends. No. I'm just stating the fact of the situation. It's all. The business you are going to is a cat cafe in Akihabara. Katsu can give you the address on the way out. Wait, a cat cafe? Or what? A cat cafe. What else would it be? Well, a cat cafe or a cat maid cafe. What? Are we talking cats? Or people dressed like cats? Because a freaking cat cafe. Actual cats. Adorable, fluffy, precious cats. Why the hell would I invest in some stupid maid cafe? Cats! Normal cats! Damn it. Now it's all worked up. Look, get that goddamn contract signed and we'll talk. Okay. Wir müssen das Kit Café überfallen. So. Wieder zurück nach Akihabara. So, enter. Welcome back. I think Tomo remembers you. You must be appreciative of all your help to make him feel better. All through I have had to stop the deliveries from sashimi. Even the smell seems to set off his bowels. Another quirk added to an already quirky character. So maybe it's a sign that you were right about the fish. Yeah, listen, we need to talk. Okay, sure, why the serious face? What's wrong? Ja? Oh, ich sollte auswählen. Sign what? No, I can't. It can't be. You work for Kasumi. It's not like that. You come in here holding the same contract she showed me 2 days ago and tell me to sign it. What does that sound like to you exactly? Yeah, I know what it sounds like, but I am telling you, I don't work for her. Then you don't care about me or the cats. That's even worse. Please don't make me sign. Please, you have to help me. The amount of money they have asked for is out of hand. I'm doing well for now, but if they got their way, I'd be out of business. You have to tell Kasumi, please. Tell her that if this place closed down all these cats, there will be no place for them to go. The poor kitties. They'd be put down. I can't support them myself. I don't think Animal Services would let me keep them. I couldn't live with myself if that happened. I'm begging you, Ito. Don't do this. Oh Gott. Das ist wieder so viel Arbeit. Okay. Damn it. It doesn't matter what I need from her. I can't make you sign this in good consciousness. Alright, I knew you. I knew good would prevail in the end. Thanks. How you get mixed up with that woman anyway? I need some information from her. You should be careful. I don't know about her, but her fucks are dangerous. Last time they were here, I heard them talking about having to teach a girl from another cafe a lesson or something. Makes me feel sick thinking about it. What else would you expect from guys like that? Breaking legs is probably all they're capable of outside of grunting and drinking. Call me naive, but I don't get how someone can be so two-faced. When I started seeing her face in the papers lately, I couldn't believe it. Surely that ruthless woman they were talking about couldn't be the Kasumi I knew. Or so I thought. Guess it's like you said. A tiger can't change its stripes, right? Maybe so. At any rate, you should probably be more careful who you trust in the future. Sorry, I didn't mean to wrap you up in all of this. But thank you for not making me sign. So what's your plan? I'm not sure if I really have one. Maybe I can appeal to her kinder self. If she really is a cat lover, I'm sure she wouldn't want to see the little guys hurt, right? Oh no, I've really gone and got myself into trouble, haven't I? Maybe I should go instead. The contract was given to me, so I'd better deal with it myself. Plus, I get the impression that being confident by the cops hasn't put her in a... okay. But I'm sure you don't agree. But I still think there's something good in her. Something can't help but wonder if she'd be doing all these things if she didn't grow up into that life. And all the kitties loved her when they played with her. Cats are such good judges of character. So I somehow don't think her treatment of animals correlates too much with her treatment of people. I'm suddenly starting to feel a little uneasy thinking about going back there without the contract. Damn it, Ayami. You have really gotten yourself into one this time, haven't you? No point dwelling on it now. I have made my mind up, and I can't run Yakuza debt collectors just because I'm in a tight spot. Take care. Don't worry, my kitties are never wrong in judging someone's character. Yeah, sure, I will think of something, but I need you to lay low and maybe close up shop for a while until I sort something out. Ich wollte das Spiel eigentlich bis ganz zu Ende spielen, aber ich habe jetzt die Befürchtung, dass das nie aufhört. Jedes Mal, wenn ich irgendwie glaube, ich komme dem Ende näher, dann öffnet sich irgendein anderes Subplot. Hey, what are you doing here? Go back. Honestly, little one, I don't want you to get hurt. Go home. Ja, er folgt mir jetzt. Da. Ich glaube, wir sind hier reingegangen. Welcome back. I assume you took care of that little nuisance for me. I didn't have her sign it. I couldn't in good consciousness ruin someone's life like that. Let me explain something to you. If I give you something to do, you don't come back until it's done. What, do you think you are some sort of moral crusader helping out the little guy? What she tell you anyway? That she was a small town girl who couldn't keep up with the big meanies in Tokyo, but put it that way. I guess I should sound like I'm asking a bit much. Did she tell you about all of the cats that keep escaping? Or the ones who wander into nearby businesses? How about the heaps of trash that are piling up around the place? If it were for me getting people off her back and cleaning up the place, those cats would probably be dead by now. What we have here, detective, is a trust issue. You were too quick to take the other side because of who I am. Or at least who you think I am. Pity Katsu. Yes, boss. Take Ito outside and show her what happens when people disappoint me. Don't be too rough. I don't want to repeat a repeat of last time. Oh, and leave her face alone. I'd hate for someone to see a black eye and think she might be worthy of sympathy. keep her jacket here. I like it. It's very cliche. Did you know, my friends tell me, when all the police raids are coming, it's pretty handy, really. Really. As a matter of fact, there's one scheduled for tomorrow. I will be gone, of course, but if they were to find this jacket, well, who knows what they think. Would be a pity if someone recognizes it. Kazu, escort her out. Good luck finding that stupid little girl. Hold on, Katsu. Ito, who is this? I guess he is a stowaway from the cat cafe. He is, huh? I see. I love him. Look at this squishy little face. I can't have a detective beating around such a cute, wiggly face. What's his name? Beaton? Oh, I think his name is Tomo. Tomo. That's not much of a name for a man, is it? I shall call him Mr. Marshmallow. About that blackmail and beating. Oh, that, forget it. Really? Good. Oh, Ito, lighten up. You are not a liability unless you start talking to your cop friends. And you wouldn't do that, would you? No, they likely wouldn't believe me at this point anyway. My thoughts exactly, so cheer up. How can you stay mad when looking at these big eyes and those little feet? I look at you and I see a woman whose priorities are all wrong, Ito. You don't appreciate what you have, only what you are looking for. That is until you find it, but then what's left? That's it. I was serious about one thing. If you talk to any cops about my business or about my affection for cats or anything like that, Katsu might pay a visit to your apartment and pick up where he left off. But who wants to think about all of the logistics of dismembering and disposing at the detective's body when you have got these little whiskers rubbing against you? Tachiko was right. You do genuinely love cats, so why make her sign a contract that would end with her having to put the cats down. Sachiko isn't a perfect and cute as she seems. She might love her cats, but she has strange ways of caring for them. She owes me great debt, and it's my right to collect it. If her cafe shuts down, I would make sure those cats have a home. Though I can't say the same for their owner. This job is about tough decisions, not legal ones like my cops make. In my business, you have to sleep with the choices you make, not leave them at the door when you hand the case over to the courts. Mr. Marshmallow likes being picked up. Ah. He is pretty cute. I'm not sure if you meant for this outcome, but I have to say, you have some guts coming back like you did. I thought you'd be another pushover cop to keep in my pocket. I underestimated you. And in doing so, I have given you information on one of my weaknesses. It's funny, really. I spent so much time making sure I'm not seen as the weak woman that all these men expect me to be, that I don't feel like myself sometimes. Sometimes I'm sure you understand quite well. Tell you what, I will let you have that one little weakness of mine. It's only fair. I know so many of yours after all. In a different life, maybe we could have been friends. Katsu, stand down for now. Ito, consider yourself lucky. I will let you keep your jacket tonight. Understood, boss. Alright. Forget the cat cafe contract. I will get one of my boys to deal with it later. What is it you wanted again? I want to speak to Omega's company president Higashi about the girl signed to his agency. That's right. You're missing agency president and one of his many projects. That what a despicable little man. I will tell you now, I had no problems taking control of the business for him. I left him as president to keep a few of his clients happy. A decision I regret now. Unfortunately, I'm just as in the dark about where he disappeared to as you, I'm afraid. A deal is a deal, though. While you were out, I got an address to one of his old hideouts and the code to get in. I can't guarantee you will find anything there, but I say I'd tell you what I knew, and that's what I know. You haven't sent one of your stooges to check it out for you? Stooges? I like you, but don't push it. As I said earlier, Me and my man can't afford to be spotted right now, especially in an area getting so much special attention. Special attention. Doesn't Kabukicho get enough attention on its own? Kabukicho is what it is, but this isn't in Kabukicho. This particular spot got its reputation as subsequently it's an police its extra police patrols are a bit more recently. In fact, I hear there's still an ongoing investigation going on there. I heard you to be intimately familiar with that area and the incident that happened there. My condolence on the loss of your partner, Detective Tanaka, by the way. All the papers are rushing to make you out to be incompetent, or worse yet, some sort of psychotic killer. Maddening, isn't it? My friends in the police headquarters say you two were close. That's no way to lose someone you love. I suppose it's not too much to ask what really happened. Was there really someone there that night? Thanks on the condolence, but what happened on that night isn't something I want to discuss right now. Suit yourself. Let's change the subject. Back to Higashi. It took a bit of digging to find that address. Seems he was keeping a second hideout in Shinjuku under a fake name. Now that we know where it is, he probably knows too. I highly doubt he'd be stupid enough to stay holden up in it. But I also doubt he's be smart enough to completely clear the place out before he left town either. There's probably something in there that would lead us right to him. Get what you want, then let Katsuo know where the slime is so we can straighten him out. I will get those fantasies of running away out of his head. The code to the door is 11235. It's the only keypad lock on the street. You can't miss it. For what it's worth, I wish you good luck finding your little girl, but remember, you can't save them all. I am Ito. Oh, and Ito, thanks for bringing Mr. Marshmallow to me. Being holden up in one place for the last few weeks can be a bit taxing. You know, I remember he loves fresh fish. Fresh fish, huh? Chico certainly does have an taste. Katsu, go pick up some sashimi. Right away, boss. Okay. Wir haben hier den Code vergessen. Finden wir hoffentlich die Tür da. Use keypad. Ha, it worked. Looks like Kasumi's tip wasn't a lie. Wir hätten uns den Code gar nicht merken müssen. What a stench! I know that smell. Anyone who's worked homicide long enough knows it. Oh Gott. Oh Gott. Oh Gott. Okay. Okay. This is the source of the smell, alright. The body is pretty bad. Is in pretty bad shape. However, it took enough time to mull the corpse. The internal organs have been disturbed, maybe removed. What's this? There's a bag. There's a paper bag with the name Higashi written on it. Did Trainer do this? Ist hier nichts mehr? Ich dachte, ich kann nicht hier mit irgendwas interagieren. War nicht gerade noch auf der Wand ein Interagierungsding? Na, jetzt kann ich hier nichts mehr machen. Geht's hier irgendwo weiter? Nein. Nothing's changed, just the door. Nothing to see here. Where's that noise coming from? Okay. It sounds like something is trying to escape from the inside. The rattle stopped. Why? Okay. This TV doesn't look like it has been used in years, and it's covered by a thick layer of dust. I doubt it even works anymore. Shots of various girls, all of them taken in this room. They don't look like the professional headshots and an agency would make. They all look so sad and young. I have got a pretty good idea what these pictures were used for and the types of people they might have been sent to. Reina, so it's true to think you were kept in a place like this. What happened to you? Huh. something's happening. You are back early. Hey, I don't feel well. I think I will go to bed early tonight. Ruby, don't ignore me. Lately it's been the same excuse over and over. I don't know what you are talking about. Ruby, my sweet little Ruby. You think because that one song was a hit, you can just stop working? That money's all gone, sweetheart. We spent it all trying to get you a record deal. Don't you think it's unfair to eat my food and stay here for free without doing any work, Ruby? Hey, stop crying. Stop crying. I'm talking to you. Please, I didn't mean it. I'll do another song. I'll make it up to you. I promise. I just don't want to. That's exactly why I'm setting up all these meetings for you. You make the right impression with these guys and they will take your place. They will take you places. Speaking of which, I got a call a little while ago from Masa. Know what he told me? He told me you were being a little disagreeable with him last night at his place. You know that he's one of our best clients, don't you? The things he can do for you girls is, well, I shouldn't even need to tell you. I sent you to him because he said there was something special about you. In fact, he said out of all the girls here, he particularly wanted to meet you. I did you a big favor by making that happen. Then you compensate by generously. Then you compensate my generosity by sitting in a room, crying and telling me you don't feel well, or whatever excuse you come up with next. I couldn't. He tried to. I don't care what he tried to do. You shouldn't have let him. You should have let him. Genau umgekehrt. Sorry. When I took you in, you were a vulnerable tiny girl who was already failing in school. But I saw your potential. I could already tell how pretty you'd be when you were older. That's all those men care about, how I look. So what? You think I took you in because of how smart you were? You are an idol. You are supposed to be looked at. Most men would fall over themselves to meet you, a pretty girl like you, but you ruin it for everyone when you sit there crying. What are you doing? I'm sick of looking like an idiot, Ruby. You made me do this. Was ist jetzt los? Wir können nur wegschauen. Okay. Das ist alles, wir können es anschauen und nicht anschauen. Okay. Dann gehen wir wieder raus. Nothing to see here. Where is that noise coming from? The noise stopped. Damn it, Ruby. I can't stand to see you like this. You are not gonna feel better staying cooped up in here. Listen, I got you that photo shoot lineup tomorrow. The one with Masa. Are you even listening? Don't make me go back. I don't want to go out. Let me stay here. What's wrong with you? Please, please don't make me. I'm afraid to go. Far as I can tell, all you are afraid of is success. I've fallen over myself to make you a star, but you will never get anywhere if you lock yourself away. What? You're not doing to say anything. You're not going to say anything. You can't treat me this way. I gave you your name, your music, and damn near anything else. Oh, but you think you were special, right? Let me break it to you, honey. You are not. There's loads of other girls in this business just like you, and they do what they have to without complaining about it. They understand how important it is to keep clients happy, and I'm sorry it's not all butterflies and flowers, but you are not some naive little girl anymore. You are a woman now. Hey, Earth to Ruby, I'm trying to give you some advice here, and you are not even listening. Reina, my name is Reina. What you just say, Reina? Who's that? Oh yeah, that was the name of some pathetic little foster girl I picked up. You wanna go back to being her? Just say the word and I will throw you out there myself. If you think you have got It's so bad now. Let's count the seconds between you hitting those streets and being back in foster care or dead in some gutter. Not so talkative now, are you, Raina? Or is it Ruby, the girl who was successful? The girl who could make it if she would just do what she was told. Sorry, I'm sorry. I lost my temper, but you gotta see things my way. You were special. You know that. I see. I saw so much potential in you. Such a beautiful young girl. I wanted to raise you up and show you what life could be. Then you rejected me and everything I can offer you. It's a damn shame. You are still pretty, Ruby. So pretty, but not when you mope around. Look, I get it. You are a teenager and you wanna cry it out, right? Fine, but when you're done with that, you are going back out there. You think I want to send you to all these little meetings with Masa and guys like him? I'd rather you were successful so we don't have to do that. I'm on your side. If you'd work harder, you wouldn't have to do things like that. Stop crying. You are not a child anymore. I just want to go home. Home? Ha 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 ha. Where do you think are you? You are home. This is as good as it's going to get for a girl like you. Tomorrow you are going to go with Masa and do whatever it is he tells you to do. You will stop this crying and you will start making some money. Shh. Maybe it was a mistake to think you'd end up being special. Turns out you are just another disappointment, another whore. There's something laying on the mattress. It's a newspaper article dated October 24, 2004. The article's title, One Hit Wonder Ruby's commits suicide. That can't be. That was over 10 years ago. Her real name was withheld from the press, but her picture is there. According to the article, Hikashi went to her room and found it locked. He called to her. She didn't answer. I thought she must have been tired, he said. She'd been working hard on a new song. He only forced the door when he noticed the smell, where he found her hanging from the rafters. She'd hung herself almost 2 days before, probably in this room. There's more. Though Mr. and Mrs. Sakashi had adopted her years before, Ruby was not made to work and loved being an idol more than anything in the world. Her song "Look for Me" will go on sale again this month, with all sales going to various suicide prevention charities. I have read enough. The sadness that is in this room is the same awful feeling I felt in the sewer. Is it Rainer's? Is this what I was supposed to see? Ich hätte eigentlich gedacht, dass sie ihn umgebracht hat, aber... Wenn sie schon lange tot ist... Gut, hier gibt es sonst nichts mehr zu sehen, oder? Rausgehen. I feel sick, that monster. How many girls had Hagashi passed around and abused before he was murdered? And Reina, she looked the same as she does now, 16 years old, a child. Higashi had her locked up and she tried to take back control the only way she thought she could. Only she came back. And all the pain and suffering came back with her. When I was in that room, I could feel it like it was my own, and it's not the first time. The dark was steeped in it. As soon as I realized it, it was like the air changed. I can sense a pulse now, like a heartbeat following me. I feel like the dark has changed, but there's more to do. The collector said the mask was a tool to navigate the dark. I need to go to Kamakura and find out what I can. Okay. Ich hoffe doch, wir sind jetzt bald am Ende. I came here to find out about the mask, but there's something I've got to do first. 6 months ago I sent one girl to the morgue and very neatly killed another. Since then I'd thought of coming here to apologize to May countless times, but couldn't will myself to see her and be faced with my failure. I think of the fear and hurt in her eyes and I feel nothing but shame. For my own peace of mind, I need to tell her the truth about the day and about how I lost control. Hopefully she can find it in herself to forgive me enough to help me with my investigation of the mask. Wait, it's fall. Why are the cherry blossoms blooming? It's like nothing's changed since that day. Go to shrine. Cherry blossoms fell gently at my feet as I approached the Kavanagh family shrine. In front of me, Meikanawa still dressed in the outfit of the shrine maiden. She had seen me approach and stood there frozen and terrified, the same helpless look on her face as when she had a knife to her throat months before. This time it was me she was terrified of. We were the only two people at the shrine, yet I couldn't shake the feeling of being followed. A familiar presence watching from the shadow. Was? Was ist, wenn ich gar nichts drücke? Was, wenn ich die Zeit auslaufen lasse? Was passiert dann? Macht es dann trotzdem? No, I won't do it. Why now? Why her? I don't have to do what you say. I'm not a puppet. I can choose. You, the detective from before, why are you just standing there? Is it over? I'm fine, sorry to scare you. I'm here to talk to you. See, I've never been good at apologies. I'm sorry for everything I put you through. I've been meaning to talk to you ever since that day. I should have come sooner. You are here to apologize now? I didn't hear from anyone in 6 months. The police only talked to me once, and then everyone here started avoiding me and acting like it never happened. I guess that makes me the last person you'd want to see now. After that day, I'm sure some police came by and told you that I was only following procedure, but that was bull. Police in this country don't go around shooting people. I didn't feel myself and lost control, putting you at risk. Sounds vague to say I lost control at such a critical time, I bet. But that's the truth. Truth? It's strange, isn't it? The cherry blossoms, I mean. It's silly, but every time someone comes here and says how beautiful they are, I get so mad. It's like they don't understand my feelings at all. But that's selfish, huh? It's not like I want everyone to suffer along with me. I imagine the only other one who understands that is you, detective. Your name is Ito, right? It's so quiet here. It's hard to imagine something like that. That day in April really happened in a place so beautiful, peaceful. But it did. I know that you and your partner were only doing what you could to save me, but I wish I could have helped. I felt so helpless. At least you told me the truth. Thank you. You know, I asked Grandma about the mask the red-haired girl was after, and she denied knowing anything. But it was a lie. Es sind jetzt doch ein paar Zuschauer da. Okay, weiter. But it was a lie. I found one of her old journals at the shrine, and he wrote that mask was important and had to be hidden away. Why would she lie to me? I'm sick of everyone always trying to protect me by covering everything up. Grandma hasn't been the same since that day either. She shuts herself up in that old house and mumbles to herself about darkness and purity. I'm so worried about her. My gut tells me that mask has something to do with it. I'm so sorry. Listen to me, rambling away. I bet you don't care about any of that. The truth is, I think you are right about the mask having something to do with all this strangeness. I actually came here to ask you about it. You think so too? Then let me help you. I don't know anything, but maybe Takashi does. Oh, sorry. Takashi's my brother. He used to live here in Kamakura with me and grandmother, but he left the first chance he got. We talk on the phone all the time, but he refuses to come back and visit. I get the feeling he knows something I don't. He won't even tell me about my parents, about how my parents died. Where does your brother live now? He's an instructor at the Kendo Dojo in Asakusa in Tokyo. I heard he's a big shot in the Kendo world. It sounds like he'd be a good place to start. Do you think he will speak to me? You can try. He's never been very good at opening up to strangers though. It's worth a shot. Thanks for helping me, Mai. Jedes Mal, wenn ich denke, ich komme irgendwo dem Ende nahe, dann schickt mich das Spiel irgendwo anders hin. Kann man das noch versuchen? Nee. Nur noch mehr Zeit verschwinden. Wir gehen jetzt gleich zum Ziel. Warte. Wir müssen gleich hier, warte. Oder? Sieht so aus. Oder? Okay. Wo geht's weiter? Hier. My investigation up to that point led me to believe that finding Takashi Kawana would be difficult and convoluted, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Turns out this Kendo Dojo was well regarded as a popular training spot for a few national champions and several of the city's police officers. The latter made me nervous. The information was asking for was sensitive, and I didn't want word of my investigation finding its way back to HQ. A few misfired questions could end up with officers knocking on my door. Or worse, Yukimura himself calling me up. I had to be cautious. Aha. Oktopusbällchen können wir hier kaufen. Stehen ein paar Typen. This looks like the dojo I was looking for. It has a very traditional aesthetic. Okay, schauen wir mal rein. Finden wir hier jemanden? Takashi! Who are you? You are a friend of my sister. You expect me to believe that? A little old, don't you think? Gee, thanks. Really, you think I wouldn't recognize you? You are the officer who was at the shrine in April who almost got her killed. And now you're lying about it, pretending to be her friend. To, no doubt, to get something from me. Don't look so shocked, your little deception was easy to read. It's all. After your idiocy in Kamakura, I heard Mai crying over the phone every night for months. Don't bother her anymore. Now get out of here before myself or one of my fellow officers has to throw you out. Oh my god. Well, that didn't go well. Maybe Mai will know how to soften her brother up. Ah, jetzt muss ich wieder zurück und sie fragen. Das gibt's ja nicht. Ah. Können wir jetzt den gar nicht mehr zuhören? Das konnten wir dann noch zuhören. Hey, hier hat sich ein Kätzchen versteckt. Look. Inside this is the interior of traditional tea shop, but it doesn't look like anyone has been there recently. Okay. Good. Nee, ist gut. wollten wir nicht. Wir wollten dorthin gehen. Komm schon, komm schon, komm schon, komm schon. Renn, 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 renn. Ich bin mir sicher, meine Werte sind schon im Keller. Ist gar nicht so schlimm. Ich dachte, dass ich schon längst eine Neurose hätte vom ganzen Hin und Her. I think I managed to find your brother. He didn't exactly seem happy to see me. Yep, you found Big Brother, alright. He's been protective of me ever since we were little. I know I'm probably overstepping my boundaries, but would you be willing to come talk to him? I don't think he will tell me anything on my own. You want me to help? You know, seeing you again really got me thinking. I decided that even if everyone's trying to hide it, I can't sit here and ignore what's happening. I need to understand why my family was been acting so strangely. Even my own brother is keeping me in the dark. I'm so sick of it. Sure, I will come with you, Ito. If I went alone, he'd probably pat me on the head and send me on my way. But if you are there, I'm sure he will tell me about my parents, the mask and everything. Are you sure that's what you want? Sometimes not knowing is better, me. No more, stupid little me. I'd rather be hurt and know than happy and ignorant. But before we go, let's check on Grandma. These days, if she doesn't know where I am, it can really set her off. Alright, we will make a quick stop at the house. Thanks, me. Okay. Lauf. Hey, was ist denn hier los? A dead crow lays in the middle of the street. The small body is in a bad state of decay, covered in dried blood. The maggots have begun eating at its remains. Das war vorher noch nicht da. I say no visitors, leave me alone. Grandma, it's me, please open the door. May? Oh, May, it's you, please come in. Yes, come in. Wait, what did she doing here? It's okay, Grandma. She's here to help. Help? Ah, don't make me laugh. You were supposed to help me, remember? I felt something and you were going to free me from the past. Free you? Are you talking about the mask? Do not discuss that horrid thing here. No matter how far you go, I can still feel it, like needles in my skin dragging me to it. In my dreams, I can still see the place. Have you seen it too, detective? A dark place where those we have lost reside. I'm so old and I have wasted so much time, and yet the pain won't go away. My poor Emiko. I miss her so much. If only I could have found her. Emiko? You mean Mom? Find her? What are you talking about? She's gone? Takashi told me she died after I was born. Yes, of course. You shouldn't be asking about such things, May. If it weren't for this woman, you'd be safe at the shrine. No, Grandma, you are wrong. I'm not safe while everyone lies to me. I'm going to see Takashi. If you don't tell me the truth, he will. May, listen to yourself. You must stop. Opening the door to the past will solve nothing. Everything since you were little I have done what I could to protect you and your brother. Please don't go down this path. You look so much like her. You know, your mother. And you, detective. Perhaps my granddaughter is too naive to see it, but you can't hide it from me. I know what you have seen, what you think you are able to do. But keep my family out of it. We have suffered enough. You don't know anything about me, and besides, I'm not the one hiding things from my family. Tell me, do you know the story of Izanagi and Izanami? Grandmother, this again? I'm sure Ito's not interested in hearing some old myth. Really, we should get going. Stay right here. Though I have told you this story so many times, you don't seem to grasp its importance. I think it would be of use to this woman to hear it. Izanagi and Izanami were the first of the gods, known to us as kami. In legend, it was the drops of ocean water that fell from Izanagi's jeweled spear that created the island of Japan. Ja. Mit dem Stream geht es noch so lange weiter, bis hoffentlich das Spiel zu Ende ist. Es sei denn, es wird über 3 Stunden, dann höre ich auf. Okay, weiterlesen. When daisies descended to our lands, they brought their love and devotion with them to the realms of mortals. Izanagi and Izanami had many children. The deities of nature that inhabit the natural world all around us. For a time, life was peaceful. However, as Izanami gave birth to Kagu Tsuchi, the kami of fire, she was horribly burned and suffered mortal wounds. As she lay dying and faced with her mortality, new kami were born from her suffering. Kami that hid away from the light. When Izanami passed, Izanagi was inconsolable, and in his rage he struck down the child that killed his love. Unable to accept her death, he ventured deep underground to Yomi no Kuni, the land of the dead. Half blind and distraught with grief, he wandered in the darkness until he finally heard the voice of his beloved. Though unable to see her face, Izanagi begged Izanami to return with him. Izanami replied that she would try and ask the gods of Yomi no Kuni permission to return to the land of the living. Inacceptable of restraining his desire to see his love, Izanagi set his cup alit in order to look upon his lost love. What greeted him was the sight of her decayed, worm-eaten face. In horror, Izanagi attempted to flee Yomi no Kuni. Izanami, enraged, sent dark spirits to pursue him and drag him back to her. After narrowly escaping, Izanagi sealed the entrance to Yomi no Kuni with a great boulder. So you see, it is our mortality that brings suffering into the world, yet resisting it is perversion of nature's order. Being mortal means we must accept that we cannot control life and death. Detective, some things cannot be changed, and some doors should never be opened. You must stop. Okay, es ist nett, dass du versuchst mir zu sagen, wie man das richtig ausspricht, aber auch wenn ich es hier von dir lese, weiß ich trotzdem nicht, wie ich es aussprechen soll. Grandma, you're talking about stories and myths. We are talking about real things. The story may be a myth, but there's truth within it. Can't you see that? The things you pursue, they are unnatural, unclean. Heed my warning and stop this foolishness. Why wouldn't let you involve? Sorry. I won't let you involve my family any further. First, those bastards take my Emiko, then you show up. Perhaps I'm being punished for my sins. May, come here. Come here, my sweet child. We must keep you away from her. No, Grandma. I told you already. I'm going to see Takashi. I'm an adult now. You can't tell me what I do anymore. No, you can't. You can't go. We must protect our family from outsiders, May. You are reopening old wounds. Leave us alone. Let us heal. Heal? You think I want to heal? I can't. You see how much these lies have hurt me already. You are the one wounding me, Grandma, not Ito. You are delusional. You tell us stories about kami and spirits. Takashi might hide things from me too, but at least he makes sense. This time he's going to tell me the truth about everything, about Mom and Dad too. Stop! No, stop! I will tell you how your parents... how they... You can't. Can you? You've never told me how they died. The reason always changed every time I asked. No, May, please. You must listen. They might be listening. They are still out there, and they haven't forgiven me. Can't you see? They? What are you talking about? You're insane. I'm sorry I spoke to you that way. I will be back to check on you soon. Don't go, please. Goodbye, grandmother. No, it's fine. I don't think she told us that story. It's about Izanagi. I don't know. It was kind of creepy, wasn't it? She was talking about it like she really believed it. Come on, let's go see Takashi. Whoa, where do you think you are going? May and I are leaving. What of it? Oh, well, you can't. I got a call from May's grandmother and she says she's having health issues to see, so she has to stay. I didn't ask what they were. You wouldn't want to be caught fainting on my shift again, but It must be pretty bad if she called. May's an adult and her grandmother can't keep her here. Let's go. No, you don't understand. You are not going anywhere. Use violence. Exit. Okay. Okay, wir haben keine andere Wahl, als Gewalt anzuwenden. Ito, what are you doing? This is going to be... Is he going to be okay? He will be up again in a few hours. Why did you stop us like that? He's never done that before. Still, you shouldn't have done that. He will be fine. Let's go. Wait. We can't just leave him here. What if he's hurt? May, let's go. He might not be the only one who wants to stop us. But fine, let's go. Ripside character. Okay. Okay, komm schon, fertig. May, what are you doing here? Did she make you come? It's not like that, Takashi. It was my idea. I asked her to come talk with you, but you sent her away. This woman almost got you killed. You expect me to cooperate with her? Surely, if you need to talk to me, you can come yourself. My sister doesn't need to be involved. No, if I came alone, you just evade all my questions like you always do. Besides, there's something I need you to see. See what? What are you talking about? Where did you get that? Put it away. So, you do know what it is. I knew you were hiding something from me. That's not true. I wasn't hiding it. It's not something you ever needed to know about. Besides, why is she carrying it in the first place? Wait. Don't change the subject. This isn't about Ito. May, I understand that you're upset with me, but we should talk about this another time. Furthermore, that mask has nothing to do with you. You're wrong. Back in April, when May was held at knife point by another girl, it was this mask she was after. A mask your family is connected to. Looking for it? I suppose I have been a fool to think it could keep the truth. I could keep the truth of our family past away from you. The past. Does this have to do with Mom and Dad? Yes, and so much more. I first saw that mask when I was a child. Sorry. I first saw that mask when I was a child, before you were born. The truth is, it belongs to a cult called Kamenkai, of which your parents were members. A cult? You're kidding. How do your parents get mixed up in that? I know how it sounds. I find it hard to believe myself. They were a group led by a guru named Toki Masa, who promised a simpler life away from the hypocrisy and falseness of city life. Our parents both had master degrees, and my mother was on her way to earning a PhD. They chose to give up their lives and their careers to follow some mystic and live on a compound instead. The Kamenkai were one of many such groups back then. I was a child and didn't understand, but thinking about how your parents were deceived and what they put me and my through, it's unforgivable. The mask was one of the compound. But for what purpose or what they believed it could do, I don't know. Do you think there are members of the Kamenkai left who'd know? Oh, you see, there are no surviving members. They died, all of them, including our parents. I'm sorry. I don't remember much about it. One night, Grandma came into the room where we were sleeping, saying we had to go. The compound was in the woods, so it was dark and I could barely see, but she kept charging forward with me in her arms and dragging me behind. When we were back in Tokyo several days later, Grandma told me that our parents were dead. She didn't seem sad. It was as if she expected it. The government censored much of what happened, so I was never able to learn how they died. Me and Grandma didn't speak of it, ignoring it as if my childhood and everything that happened in those woods was all a bad dream. If it weren't for her, we'd probably be dead with our parents, but ignoring it couldn't erase the anger I felt towards them. I wonder if they had even cared what might happen to us. As a high schooler, I spent more time trying to find out about the Kamenkai than I did study. I thought that if I could understand why my parents so willingly gave up their lives and abandoned us, I'd stop feeling so betrayed. But I was wrong. Nothing I found gave me peace. Mom and Dad died as part of some cult? I don't believe it. It's true. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I guess that's in hiding it from you, I was able to hide away from my feelings as well. I think for Grandma it was too painful to talk about. I believe she took possession of the shrine in order to live a simpler life. We had to keep it secret. There's no way we could live a normal life with the stigma of the Kamenkai attached to us. I suppose keeping the secret hurts us both dearly. For me, pursuing Kendo gave me some measure of control over my life again. But Grandma, who made the choice to leave her only daughter behind, she always seemed to carry the guilt of it with her. She started going out at night, babbling about how she was looking for Mom. When she'd come home, she would have a rotten stink on her clothes. I was too scared to confront her, so I tipped off the police. They found her wandering to the sewers, holding nothing but a mask. The same one from the cult compound all those years before, and the one you hold now. I was shocked when they gave it to me. I hadn't seen it for so long, and all the unpleasant memories from my past came flooding back. That was when I decided to leave Kamakura. It was the only way I could move on with my life. What doesn't account for how the mask ended up with your grandmother in the first place. I don't know how she got it. It seemingly appeared out of thin air. Or maybe someone gave it to her. She never said. I left the mask with her. It always made me uneasy. It had a strange aura about it. Wait, Grandma was looking for Mom in the sewers? I don't remember any of this. You were in the dorms at your school at that time. Grandma's strange behavior was part of why I insisted on you going to those private schools away from Kamakura. I couldn't drag you into the madness of our past. We parted ways without ever speaking of it, and she was much better by the time you returned to Kamakura. Detective, what exactly is it that you are looking for? Surely your family's history isn't of use to you. I assume you have heard about what happened to my partner. This mask was there again when he died. It's more than an ornament. I need to know where it came from. If that's true, then I wanted to help. Your partner, he seemed like a nice person. No, May. You have helped plenty, but I have to do this on my own. Itu is right. I apologize for not telling you all this sooner. But you can't be involved in something so dangerous. I already thought I had lost you that day at the shrine. I wouldn't forgive myself if something happened to you. Alright. Thanks for finally telling me the truth, Takashi. I will head back for now. I hope you remember that I'm your sister. I may not remember the same things you do, but we are still family. I will see you guys later. Thank you, Mai, for the help. You're right, Mai. You will come visit you. I will come visit you soon. It looks like she's gone. Mai's not here. There's no need to be coy. No doubt, taking possession of that mask has taken its toll on you. Even in the brief time I was in contact with it, I felt an insane darkness behind it. I had such strange dreams and saw things I never would have dreamed upon my own. There was always an unusual air about it that I couldn't stand to be around. Maybe lying to me again makes me a hypocrite. All I know is I don't want her getting hurt. But like you said, I don't believe that mask is simply wood and paint. Though I doubt anyone else would believe us. No one ever did, except for one man on this street. There's an old tea shop. Perhaps you saw it on the way in. An old historian named Yasuhisa is there occasionally. He was the only one who ever acknowledged what I said about the mask as true. If you're looking for information on the mask, he may be the best person to ask. I never pursued the topic with him, but I speak with him occasionally on other topics. His mind is a vault of valuable information. Hopefully he can shed some light on what it really is. I hope so, but please, detective, be careful. Oh mein Gott. Diese Gespräche sind so lang. Okay. Investigation. Ich finde diese Statusanzeige so ein bisschen komisch. Aber kann man überhaupt schlechte Investigation-Werte haben? Und das würde ja dann heißen, dass man gar nicht vorankommt im Spiel. Und eine Neurose bekommt man sowieso, egal was man macht. War hier nicht dieser T-Shop? Enter T-Shop, so. Welcome, come in. Do sit down. No need to be so formal and stand there like a statue. How can I help you? Are you Yasushida Takashi told me to come speak with you. Oh, and how is Mr. Kawana? Still prickly as ever, I suppose. I've always found him to be wise beyond his years, though perhaps not by choice. I digress, my apologies. It's the quirks that comes with old age, you know. What does Mr. Kawana think I can help you with? Okay, bis dann, gute Nacht. I'm looking into a few things related to the Kamen Kai, the group his family got mixed up in. Ah, a more difficult answer than you might expect. You see, there are two groups that share that name. The first, as you know, is the religious group formed by the Guru Toki Masa. The second is an ancient order over 1,000 years old. What's that you're holding? I was told it's related to the Kamen Kai, the newer one, and that you could tell me about it. Ah, that explains many things, child. The far-off look in your eyes, for one. I imagine you have many questions. Masks are interesting, are they not? They are meant to be a disguise, and yet masks cannot lie or control itself to hide the truth. In that sense, it is the mask that is more truthful than the human face we hide underneath them. I wonder how you came to be in possession of an object with such a dark history. I think it might be related to a missing person, but I don't know anything about it beyond that. Ah, but that itself is the essence of history. Layers upon layers of personal connections that are continuously peeled back to their root. Relics like that one you hold often take unusual routes to where they end up. Relics. Relic. If it's from the Kamenkai cult from the 90s, then it hardly can. Then I'd hardly call it a relic. Misguided and deceptive as he was, Tokimasa was no fool. In order to gain new followers, he needed to give his cult an historical legitimacy. He collected obscure objects and gave them new meaning that he could control in order to manipulate his followers. The mask was what he chose, along with the name of the group that created it. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so. Only I guess I was hoping you could tell me some other things about it. For instance, like why how that I'm about to say it out loud, it sounds silly. I'm sorry I bothered you. Don't be silly. You wonder, for example, why holding the mask seems to take you to another place. Or perhaps why you can see visions that don't seem real. Why you feel a strong will exerting itself on you. Oh yes, I know all about those things too. How could you know about that? When Tokimasa was in possession of it, he believed it showed him a path to a realm of the gods. He wrote extensively on the subject. Though unlike most, I don't discount such phenomena as a waving of a madman when the phenomena repeats itself. Do you too look into the inky blackness of and see familiar shapes in the shadows? Not shadows. I see and hear people who are supposed to be dead. I find things I couldn't possibly have found otherwise. No shadows. I see. Okay, das hatten wir schon. Yeah. It's most interesting. Tell me, detective. Oh, apologies. Do you mind if I call you that? I don't remember telling you I was a detective. Ha! My mistake. You must forgive me. A slip of the tongue. I believe it was the way you carried yourself. Determined investigators such as yourself have such a sense of purpose in their mannerisms, you see. And you do seem rather determined to get to the bottom of whatever it is you are chasing. Tell me, does me telling you that your experience are not an illusion provided you any level of comfort. I'm not sure, but I do feel something. Maybe hope. It's like I finally got a foothold on solid ground. Ah yes, knowledge is a light in the dark places, is it not? To think a relic of such import would end. Up with a detective. Warum steht da nur Import und nicht important? Do you mind if I ask you something? Which do you believe? Are our lives controlled by fate? Pre-measured threats that determine our deeds? Or wishes and or ends that minute we come into existence? Or conversely, in our threats subject to the chaos inherent in our universe instead? Does it change according to our deeds, and which happens to use seemingly by accident? Do you believe it is fate or chance that decides which threads of life are cut short and which are followed? Wait. Yes, of course. Maybe you feel our life has been somewhat out of control as of late. Control, huh? To be honest, if I don't feel like I have had much of that since the mask came to me. You said that the mask was made by the old Kamenkai. Why confusing me can't be the purpose it was made for? Ah yes, a more complicated answer than you might have wished for. Indeed, it should come as a surprise that the creation of such an mysterious object is equally enigmatic. Perhaps you could do me a favor. Don't worry. It is in relation to this very topic. An important book has gone missing from my shop. If you should retrieve it from me, I feel I could shine a great deal of light on the subject. What kind of book? A book of a missing rarity. Haha, sorry. I just... It concerns the mask bearer. Mask bearer, ha. That's me, right? All through you carry it. That does not make you its bearer. All will become clear when the book is returned to me. Sounds easy enough. Where can I start looking? Oh yes, indeed. Go far. You needn't go far. The man who has it is right outside this building. In fact, as I said, it's not much of an errand, but of course I cannot leave my shop. He's right outside. This won't take long. I will be back. Okay. Can I help you with something? Wait, Japanese? Your Japanese is perfect. As a college professor, if you won't be a good job. I'm no college professor, but I work in Japanese software company, so I'd be a bit of a trouble too. Don't just Tokyo suburbs. Okay. Ihr habt nichts Interessantes zu besprechen. The old tea shop next door, isn't that place closed down? Closed? That can't be right. What else do you know about it? You can conjecture on this one, but I think it might be owned by Kendo instructor from the dojo down the street on account of him being the only one ever seen in there. You might not believe me, but I swear I saw him in there chatting away to himself. Possibly he's a little nuts. Then again, it might be some super awesome Kendo meditation technique. Ah man, why didn't I think of that before? Next time I gotta ask him for some pointers instead of spying on him. Word though is that he is a regional champion or something and has trained some of the best. Lots of cops, maybe. After all. Speaking of which, I have a bit crazy questions. I know you said it was closed, but you know anything about a book taken from there? Maybe recently. I was led to believe you would. Oh, jeez. Go on. Like I said, the place has been empty for years, but you know, I spent a lot of time outside it, and half the time the door was wide open. So one day, a few months back, I decided to take a look around. Nothing suspicious or anything. I was just curious, it's all. Curiosity killed the cat, right? Anyway, it was all dusty and old, and there was all sorts of weird stuff laying around. So I might have taken a little souvenir. I mean, it wasn't super old or nothing, so I figured no one would miss it. Besides, it wasn't for me. It was for my kid brother. That guy can't get deep in the dumps sometimes, so I try to be stand by for when that happens, you know. I figured a little gift to cheer him up, and back then he was going through some particular rough time. His bitch wife, pardon my language, miss, had left him and taken their kid daughter with her. He still doesn't talk about it. Like he's in denial or something. Whoops, got off track again. I was heading to visit him with the ill-gotten book when I get this phone call saying he was in a hospital. On expensive Sake and sleeping pills. Thanks God that idiot decided to do it at a bar he owns with the door unlocked. A customer came in and called an ambulance. If it weren't for that, I'm not sure if he'd still be here. That's quite a story. Sounds to me like he wanted to be found. Yeah, think so too. I think he was trying to ask for help in his own way. In any case, I took the book to him while he was in the hospital, tried to show him that even when he was at his lowest, there was someone who out there trying to do something nice for him, you know. Okay. Der Typ vom Anfang hat das Buch. Skip. Maybe it's schon wieder mad. Wo war das? Zu gut, da. Hey Amy, how can I help you today? Hey Daizo, how are things? Funny thing, I met your brother while I was in today. What are the chances? You know, maybe it was Komm zum Punkt. This would have been more recent after your... Maybe it was stupid to come and ask. No, it's fine. That idiot always running his mouth. Those weren't just some hard times, nothing serious. I'll just drank too much, it's all. I'm sorry, detective, but I don't want to talk about it. Alright, understand. Big bad memory, also. You said very well looking for a book, right? Okay, jetzt kommen wir endlich zum Punkt. Truth is, I don't remember a book. I do remember giving me an old magazine. Back in the hospital. It was one of the ones I used to read when I was younger, when things weren't quite complicated. Wait. There a second. I may have it in the storeroom still. Dang it. Sorry, Ayami. Hold a sec. Amazing how much junk someone accumulates over the years. Maybe I should throw some of this old stuff out. Here it is. Huh? Jetzt bin ich total confused. Oh mein Gott, was hat denn das damit zu tun? It's yours, detective. Oh, hey. No wonder I recognized that photo you brought by. It's the same girl, an idol named Ruby. Reina. No, Ruby, see? It says right here on the cover. Pretty crazy what that is. What's still in my shop? Guess that means you are still looking for her. It must be fate. I don't buy it. You are a hell of a detective. You must have a pretty sharp nose. If you say so, Daiso. Do you mind if I take this? Like I said, it's yours. About time it started getting rid of some more of my old junk. Thank you. See you around. Take care. Okay. Jetzt sicher, jetzt kommt ein Plot-Twist. Gehen wir da rein und Ruby ist wieder da. Was wird mal? Okay, habe ich vertan. Welcome back, detective. Is that my book I see in your hands? Guess I'm a little surprised. Are you trying to tell me Reina is the mask bearer you talked about? That's hard to believe. Does it surprise you after all? It is she who you see in the dark, is it not? The dark, that's what the collector called it too. How'd Reina get tied up in all of this? I only know that fate has intertwined the girl's life with the forces in the mask, but the machination behind those circumstances are mysterious. I'm afraid. People always see history as something in the distant past, involving old men and black and white pictures, but that book and the girl are as much part of history as the rest. The threads that connect the past to the present and the people to each other are not always apart, but peel back the layers of connections and the randomness of our universe neatly orders itself. A teen idol, an ancient order, the tool they created, and the detective who holds it, now all forming a neat and tidy line. Reina was some sort of idol living in Tokyo, not part of a sleeping cell of some cult. It doesn't add up. On that, detective, we can agree, so why don't we start at the beginning? How the mask ceased to be a mere object. The story starts in ancient times, in the year 1333. At the time, Kamakura was the capital of Japan, led by the Hojo clan. It was a time of peace, prosperity, and enlightenment. Peace among men in critical, and like so many before them and so many after, their time of peace came to an end. The Nita clan, loyal to the Emperor Daigo, led a siege against the Hojo-controlled Kamakura, taking the city as the tide receded, leaving a key passage open to invaders. The Hojo clan fled to the caves of their family's temple. From them there was no hope of victory or escape. They chose to retain their honor instead of surrendering. The 870 Hojo samurai, including the last 3 regiments, committed mass suicide. However, the Hojo and Nita clan, emboldened in their quest for empire, could not see the role they played in the plan of another group, the religious sect of the Kamikai. It is said that in the flames of the Kamakura a girl was seen wandering to the streets, observing the carnage of the burning city. A girl lost to the histories by the name of Chikako Chicho. the last survivor of the Kamenkai. Okay, so whatever the Kamenkai were trying to do, they failed. I mean, they all died, right? No, they did not fail. Everything went exactly as planned. Chikako, she did not survive by chance. She was chosen. Chosen for what? To receive the blessing of all the spiritual energy that so much death afforded, to become the first mask bearer. Mask bearer. The Kamenkai used the deaths of all of these people to create this. Why? Legend has it that the Kamenkai sought to contain the door, a rift leading to the spiritual realm, where our consciousness ceases to be and time holds no meaning. A place where cause and effect could be changed. Why spend so much human life and give up so much to do that? To stop it from being abused. Imagine being able to see the world as a god, so that the flow of time and the rules which govern our world are of no consequence. This is the power of the door. To a mortal mind obsessed with the finality of death and meaningless accomplishments, such power would corrupt absolutely, a power over death. So a dark place was created to obscure the door and hide it from mortal eyes, along with a tool to control and see within the darkness. It's true, all of it. It sounds like a fairy tale, but it's true. Finding the door could be the key to bringing Tanaka back. Some doors, no matter how strong they call to us, are not meant to be opened, and the Kamenkai willingly gave their lives to keep it that way. The mask opens the mind to all who come in contact with it, but it is intended for its bearer. Using it to find the door may destroy you. Maybe you are right, but I could at least use it to find my way in the dark. Just like the collector said, the only thing I don't get is how Reina is connected to it. That is a mystery, as Mr. Kawana told you. The last known location of the mask was the Kamenkai cult only a few decades ago. Much was suppressed about the Kamenkai on the Tokimasa. They existed, and then on March 4th, 1996, they met their end. There are many theories that the police killed them during their raid of the compound, or that someone within the cult had snapped and murdered the others. Nothing but conjecture, I'm afraid. The real answer lies somewhere deep within police records, and though I remain curious, it is not something I have access to. Perhaps the best place to start is there. Finding out about the last days of the Kamenkai may help light our path to the truth. Though I wonder if such an object bred from suffering can truly put an end to it. It is you who can finally break this terrible cycle. Ah, I spent a long time here. I'm tired, so tired. Farewell, detective. Sitting there comfortably, the historian casually laid out everything that I experienced, like he was reading it out of a book. Mass suicide, agent groups, underdog spiritual realm. It sounds like a myth. And interesting story told to travelers in a bygone era. It's hard to believe it's related to Katsuki and Reina. I can't see it. The bridge between the Kamakura samurai and a young girl. Ise Reina fits into the story. She's the mask bearer, but how? Yeah, the collector I thought when I'd entered the world and could start to understand, however, finally. But my intuition as a detective tells me they are hiding something from me still. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I need to keep going. What day it is anyway? How long have I been chasing these leads? Days turn to nights, the hours bleed into each other, even the seasons don't seem to follow the natural order anymore. Everything's blurring together. Ah, my head, maybe I should take my medication. Impossible as it seems, following the old man's hunch, it's my best bet to finally understand the mask. Even Takashi didn't know what happened to the Kamenkai. Finding the police report is the way forward. A few weeks ago I would have been easy for me to ask around and pull a file. It will be a bit more difficult now, I imagine. What's the worst that can happen? I should head to the police HQ and see what I can find. So, ich gehe jetzt erstmal zum Apartment, wenn es geht. Oder geht es gar nicht? Ah, ich kann nur zum Police Headquarter gehen. Sonst nirgends hin. Mal schauen. Oh shit, you're forgetting to be kidding me. Funny. Me and some of the other guys were just talking about you after practice the other day. Specifically, we were talking bets as how long it would be before you showed your face again. Shame you coming in here now cost me 10,000 yen. Not that it matters. Ever since you left, things are looking up for me. I won the last department kendo tournament and I have been enjoying my promotion. Oh yeah, thanks for the new office, by the way. Anyway, non-adjective to or you, in other words, ain't allowed in Edgewater right now. So, what's you want? Go to hell. I need a favor. Oh. Oh man, this just gets better and better. Begging me for a favor, huh? Kind of figured you might someday. So what do you want me to do, Ito? Sneak into the evidence locker, steal your gun back for ya? Haha, like I'd do anything for you. The press already told me everyone in the damn station to steer clear of you. You considered bad luck for people's career, well, myself excluded, I suppose. Wouldn't expect anyone to do you any favors from here on out if I were you. I'd rather not people see us talking. Think that we are friendly or something. Now get out before I call someone down here. Aha. Was haben wir für eine andere Wahl? Oh. Breaking point achievement. Hey, stop! What the hell do you think you're doing? Stay where you are. You too, Saki. Ayami. Shit, you really are crazy, as they say. You know that if you think I will keep this quiet, you're wrong. Shut up. Saki, I need you to do exactly as I say. Sure, Ito, whatever you say. Go and look up a file for me. What a file? On March 4th, 1996, there was a raid on a compound belonging to the cult called Kaminkai. I need a copy of the police report and anything else on record. It's going to take a little while to run the search, so don't do anything rash, Ito, please. You're serious, aren't you? Maybe you should put down the gun and we can talk about it. Two dolls, detectives to detective. Guess you'd see me as a detective until a gun to your head. You always were lousy at dealing with people. I found it, Ito, but I can't protect you this time, Ayami. Why would you do something like this? This isn't the way, Ayami, I know. There's no way I can look the other way with this. You know what? That, don't you? I know. Copy that report and to an USB and place it on the counter. Get down on your knees. Don't worry, I am not going to hurt you if you stay put. No sudden movements. Don't try anything, trust me, I know all the tricks a lot better than you do. I'm going to grab the USB of the counter and leave. That's it. Don't come after me. You stormed into the police station, held a detective and staff member hostage and stole this file. Exactly what outcome you'd expect here. I won't come after you now, but someday the cops will catch up to you. Someday soon. He's right, of course. There's no way I'm staying a free woman for long. How this will all end. I know how this department works too well, and its deficiencies. If I keep moving and don't stay in one place too long, I will be alright. For now at least. I got what I came for. I need to move. Okay. Ist das jetzt ähnlich das Ende? No, I thought I got hard evidence or something on paper to the confusion would go away. What I've held when I held the mask isn't supposed to be real. But 12 people died in the cult that had it. Rainer's mixed up in it somehow. It's a coincidence, it has to be. The historian talked about cults and rituals, but people in the cults believe anything. But that doesn't explain what I've seen enough. What I want the truth. I want the rest. And this only makes it more confusing. Keep going. Have to keep going. It seems strange now, but I will find the truth. Find something, anything. Find the truth. Make everything normal. There is truth in here. 2 kids and an adult go out. That matches the what Takahashi said. Why is the location of this cult secret? It's all being covered up. They don't want me to find it. But I will find the truth one way or another. Okay. Tasked with raiding compound belongs called Kamenkai locator arrived. 12 bodies dead, near compound including cult leader. Other bodies included 6 females, 3 other males of varying ages, along with 2 children. Cause of death redacted. Sollte man das nicht normalerweise schwärzen, wenn man was redacted? Two other children and 1 adult considered missing may be dead. Other survivors redacted. Person effects curriculum. Result. Raid considered a success. Cult known as Common Kai's active have ceased. Surviving members have been rescued. And I had known that Titanium can be used to find a door that may be the key getting Katsuki back. Learning about those 2 facts of the mystery is supposed to enough, sure. My gut tells me the missing information I need has to do with what happened to the Common Kai. I have to make the Kawa woman talk. She's the only one alive who could tell me what happened that night. Okay. Katze können wir nicht streicheln. Okay. Wir gehen mal wieder zurück. Aber jetzt fast 4 Stunden. Jetzt 2 Episoden in einem und wir sind noch immer nicht am Ende, also wir hören jetzt auf. Jetzt schlafen, gute Nacht.